Good morning, folks. This is video number 13 for the playlist that's devoted to the Surface tab of the 3D Experience CATIA generative shape design application. Uh, 3D Experience CATIA is in reality CATIA v6 that is buried inside the 3D platform. As far as the functionalities is concerned, it's very similar to pretty much identical to CATIA v5. However, the interface looks different, the icons look different, and it's on the cloud application. There is a wireframe playlist that I've created for the wireframe tab of the generative shape design. Which already have 5960 videos on it, but this particular video is going to go into the playlist that's for the Surface tab of the generative shape design. It is the multi-section surface that I'm going to be looking at, and we want to see what is the idea of selecting a support when we use this application. Now, in the generative shape design, for 3D Experience CATIA, you see the ribbon at the bottom of the page, and there is a surface tab here, and within the surface tab, you have the multi-section surface. Upon clicking on multi-section surface, you get this dialog box, and there is an advanced option. There's a lot of stuff hidden there, and let's not worry about that right now. When you select sections, profile sections, this portion of the dialog box gets populated, and notice that there is a support column here, and we want to know what is this support column and what are these other things associated with it. Okay, right now, if you expand that advanced option, there is a whole whack of things that appear here which needs to be filled out if you actually have to use the advanced option. And this particular video, this particular screen is not directly applicable to the video that I'm making, but in fact, it is what makes this multi-section surface rather difficult. There's a good reference here. The only thing is that this was done, I think, if I'm not mistaken, 5 years ago, and a lot of the interface, things in the interface has changed. So I'm using R2026x. Okay. So let me go ahead and first do a very simple situation. We have two open profiles, and I want to do a multi-section surface, and then talk about that support. All right, let's go ahead here. Dimensions don't matter here, shapes don't matter. So on that vertical plane, I will sketch. Let me first draw a, for example, something like this, a spline. It really doesn't matter. Something like that. Exit. So that is my first profile, my first sketch. Then I'm going to do another one which is in a plane parallel to this. It doesn't have to be parallel, but I will look parallel. So let me give this thing maybe 60 millimeters. Dimensions don't matter here. Here is this one, and let me make an yeah. Let me actually make this thing a little bit longer, maybe 80. Good. All right. And on this, I'm going to draw another sketch. Sketch which, relative to this, perhaps is a profile like that. The actual, again, size and dimensions, and those things don't matter, but I'll make it like this. Exit. Very good. Now, for a reason that may not be obvious to you, what I'm going to do is I'm going to extrude make an extrusion of these two surfaces, okay, of these two sketches. So here's extrude, this in the other direction, and let me make this thing maybe 40. Again, dimensions don't matter here. And I will extrude this also, maybe in the other direction though, Okay, 40. Okay. So this sketch that you saw here is extruded this way. This sketch that was on this plane is extruded to the left. Okay, very good. Now we're going to go to multi-section surface. I don't want the advanced option. Let me close it. I select my two sketches. So there was a sketch one, which was this. Here's populated. Sketch two, which is that fellow, is also populated here. Good. Now, I'm not using any options here. The default option for creating a multi-section surface is ratio, so I'll just leave it the way it is. I'll close this thing. I told you this was not directly applicable. If I say preview, this is what I'm going to get. And if you look at it carefully, this multi-section surface that is created here, this comes into that sketch and on this side to that sketch, but there is no tangency between, there's no reason, we didn't ask for it, between this created surface and these two extrusions, which are the support. Now here's what we're gonna do. Here's what I'm gonna do. If I go to that support, see that support here? Select the first one, this first support, and select this. This is going to be my support. Remember that extrusion that I made? Look, notice that right now, these two surfaces are not tangent to each other. But I'm going to select this, and if I say preview, notice that this bulged up so that the two surfaces become tangent to each other. Now, if I go to the next one, next sketch, and choose this as the support, and again, I say preview, notice that right now they're not tangent. You can see that they're coming at an angle. Preview, it makes it tangent. And there we are. Okay. Now let me make another sketch. So another sketch. So this explains it for the case of two sketches, two profiles. So now I'm going to create another plane, same distance, it doesn't matter. And on it, I'm going to draw another sketch. Can be anything you want. For example, I'll make it, I don't know, maybe 3-point arc. I'll make a 3-point arc. Maybe something like that, like this. Actually, let me make it an arc of a circle instead of 3-point arc. I'll make it, yeah, why not? 3-point arc. I like it. So here's one. There. Exit. Okay. And I'm going to make another extrusion. So this extruded. It's fine. There we are. And now I'm gonna hide this multi-section, either hide it or add to it. It's really up to us. Okay. So let me hide it. How about that? I'll do another one. Hide. Okay. Let's see now. Surface tab, multi-section surface. First sketch, that was this. Second sketch, that was this. Third sketch that I drew, oops, a sketch, that's what I wanted. Now, by the way, notice that it has to be that these arrows are pointing in the same direction, and essentially the starting points are consistent, and they are. Now, if I say preview, and if I hide these extrusions, this middle extrusion, notice what happens again. It creates that multi-section surface between these three profiles, but there's no tangency here. And notice that the middle one, I can't do nothing. With the first one, I can select the support, which is this one. For the middle one, I can't do anything. You can't have a tangent to the middle one. This is a single surface. It's not tangent to anything. For the third one, I select this and then preview and OK. Notice that what happens, that's selecting those supports, make sure that this generated surface comes in tangentially to those supports that I selected. Now, if you double click on it, here you can change it. You can also change it to curvature. You may not see much of a difference, but it is a different surface. Okay, we can do a surface, we can do a curvature or tangent. Now, what I want to do something else. Let me go back here and put it back tangent because I want to do something tangent. So okay. Now, suppose I want to make these things, these sketches closed surfaces. So let me go ahead. Let me go ahead here to the first sketch. And I want to make it a closed profile. So for example, I can either connect these two lines, it makes it closed, or I can actually put a spline down here. It really doesn't matter. Okay, exit. Good. That's fine. I understand. Let's go to the other sketch, which was the second one right over here, and close that any way you want. You can, for example, make it a line, a broken line, or a line, it doesn't matter. I'll make it, sure, I'll make it a broken line. Exit. Sure, no problem. And let's go to that third one, also close it. So where's that sketch? It was right here. I can, for example, make a spline there too. Going from this corner point to that corner point. Exit. Fine, no problem. I'm going to hide this last one, this last thing that I did. It's hide hidden. Oh, I have to do the extrusion. So this extrude properly, hide and show, right? And this one I have to, yeah, I have to extrude this one. And I don't think, let me check this. Sketch 3. Yeah, that's good. Okay. And I'm gonna delete this. Somehow it didn't come out to be what I wanted. But, oops. Why is this thing not extruding? It should be okay. Exit. Let me do an extrusion here. Yeah, okay, now it was there. Okay, so now we're going to do a multi-section surface. My first section is sketch 1. Second sketch is sketch 2. Third sketch is sketch 3. Good. Notice that the closing points must be consistent and they must be pointing in the proper direction, right? I mean, identical direction. So let's get these things out of the way, make sure that they're okay, otherwise you fix it. All right. So if you look at this, this is the closing point for that first one in this direction. Closing point for the last one in this direction. But the closing point for this middle one is over here. I don't want that. That's this. I'm going to select it to be there. Okay. Let's make sure that these are okay. Yeah, except that the and the direction is okay. They're all counterclockwise. And preview. There. Let me hide this middle extrude because I don't want to see it. Is that the middle extrude? Which one is there? This one is what? Good. So there it is. And they're not coming tangent to what I'm looking for. But I go select the support here, select this, and for the last one, I'm going to select this and preview. And notice that what happens is that, I mean, this is ugly, I understand that, but at least it goes tangentially here and tangentially there. The moral of the story is that these things allow you to select the ends so that the generated surface goes tangentially, if possible. I mean, there may be crazy things happening that's not possible. It goes in tangentially to those supports. And I did it for the case of 2 profiles, open, 3 profiles, open, and I also did it for 3 profiles which were closed. That's pretty much it. Good luck.